Hi, Megan. Okay, so this evening has been pretty great so far because I just got a letter from the school where you go, which I'm not going to disclose to the entire internet world, that says I have a $14,000 Dean's Scholarship in recognition of my academic achievements, which is so weird because I have like a 2.5 GPA or something really awful like that. Because, you know, anxiety disorders can distract you from your schoolwork. But I got so excited because I was so not expecting anything like that. In fact, I was worried about, you know, financial aid and, like, you know, if I'd be able to get it or if I suck too much. And I was having a bad day and I just cheered everything up. And I talked on the phone with my boyfriend for like an hour and a half, and that was nice because I like him. And by the way, guess what Saturday is? It's our 1-year anniversary! Me and Nix, I'm so happy about it. Oh my god. We're gonna get sushi. And yeah, so, you know, I'm pretty content at the moment. And I have food cooking over there. See it? It's in the little pot, not the big pot. But yeah. So I'm in a good mood. Okay. Focusing. You asked me for a movie scene that gives me like happy goosebumps. Well, I think you know it's the flower scene from Harold and Maude. It's my favorite part of any movie ever, and for anyone who, I don't think we have any viewers, but it's the scene where basically she's holding a daisy and she's in a field of daisies and she says, "I feel that much of the world's sorrow comes from people who are this, yet allow themselves to be treated as that." And it's just, oh, and it cuts straight to like a military graveyard where all the headstones are identical and in perfect rows. And it's so feel-inducing. I was just like, yeah, the first time I saw it. And I was like, that's just, you know, normally when someone says something profound, I'm like, that's deep, man, in like a sarcastic way. But that was actually like, you know, it's legit, is the point. The next one, these aren't quite happy or, like, scared. They're just kind of like, oh my god, emotional, is the scene when they're on the way. Oh god, I might cry. When they're on the way to the, hospital at the end, and Harold is like, "Maude, I love you," and Maude is like, "Oh, Harold, that's wonderful. Go love some more." And he's crying, and some people don't hear this, but he's like, "Never." And I'm like, but it's so, like, oh, it's just so lovely. She's not, the way she's just like, "Go love some more." I'm just like, Maude, why can't I be you? I like you, and I want to give you a big hug, and all that stuff. Okay. Anyway, trying to think of any other scenes. There's always, you know, I was watching Beauty and the Beast yesterday, and, oh yeah, it was, this is kind of in the same vein. The first Goosebumps scene was the library scene, because hello, any girl who loves to read's dream is that, like, you know, I don't know if this is your dream, but like a hunky guy leads you to a library and says, you know, all these books and this room is yours for the enjoying, and I'm just like, oh, that's so sweet. It's so, I mean, the usual romantic gesture, you know, usually consisting of picking someone up and spinning around in a circle, dangerous. It's nice, but that's just so personal and like, I don't know, it's like, it's much nicer than a personalized e-card. It's just, it's like, it reflects what she likes, and it shows that he's, you know, making an effort, and I think that's really sweet. And then the ending, where, oh god, it's right after he gets stabbed by Gaston. I don't know what it is, it's just like, the desperation of this scene, I guess, because I didn't know a cartoon could, you know, make me so emotional. But it's right after he's been stabbed by Gaston, and Gaston falls off the roof, and, Beast has just been stabbed, and Belle, you know, pulls him onto the balcony, and, like, he's dying, but his whole face lights up, and he's like, "Belle, you came back!" And she's, like, so, like, upset. She's like, "Of course I came back!" And, you know, says something, and he's like, "Maybe it's better this way," because he's dying, and she's like, "Don't talk like that. You'll be okay. We're together now. Everything's gonna be okay." And then he's like, "At least I got to see you one last time." And then he just dies, and she's crying, and she says, I love you, and he turns into a prince, and that part's boring. But just, oh, God, it was pretty intense for a cartoon. I don't know, it's, I like that part. It's just, oh, so feel-inducing. Anyway, my question for you. So today, yesterday, before I was watching Beauty and the Beast, I'm having a bad week, so I was trying to cheer myself up by watching, happy movies. I watched Enchanted. And I realized that's actually a really, like, anti-feminist movie in a lot of ways. Like, first there's the part where the dad gives his daughter, like, a book on influential women in history, and they treat it like it's the worst present in the world, and he's like, I know you wanted a fairy tale book, and then he goes and he's like, Rosa Parks, and he's like, Madame Curie, who did a lot of sciencey things, and he's like, until she died of radiation poisoning, and she's like, she died? And I don't like the way they dismiss, like, these important women in history who are good role models for young girls as, like, less interesting than the fairy tale princesses whose entire, life is about, pleasing their princes and finding a prince and all that stuff. And there's the fact that he's in a committed relationship, 5 years, with this Nancy chick, and at first he thinks Giselle is just some random psycho girl, and then he ends up breaking off their 5-year relationship for this chick he met, like, a few days ago. That's not really even anti-feminist, that's just insulting. And it's in the name of true love. I just don't know how you can find true love with someone in a week. I mean, in fairy tale land, that's how it works, because nobody, has much depth to them, but it's just, I don't know. My rice is done absorbing water. I'll get to that in a sec. I don't know, and then, like, just saying, if my boyfriend of 5 years, I have a boyfriend of 1 year on Saturday, but if my boyfriend of 5 years left me for some random, like, super pretty girl and said, like, I can't help it, it's true love, I'd be like, bullshit. I'd just be, I don't know, I'd feel really, really pissed. I thought that was just kind of dumb. And I don't know, it just has kind of a moral of, they treat Nancy, the guy's fiance, like a total, like, uptight weirdo, because she walks in and Giselle is wearing only a towel and she fell on top of Robert, the guy, and, I mean, she's naked and on top of him, and she walks in and sees it and, thinks something else, and it's like, she storms out, and it's made to look like we need to sympathize with Giselle, but I'm like, no, I'd be upset too. That's not even being uptight. That's being reasonable. I don't know. There were a lot of red flags in that movie. I still like the part where they sing in the park, but I don't know. Looking at it now, I'm just like, I don't like the message this is giving me. So my question is, are there any, like, children's movies that you watch now and think, this is really bad messages for children? Like, not even just, like, inappropriate things. There's a lot of stuff about innuendos in children's movies, but, like, just like, this is a bad message. You're sending a bad message to kids. Like, it could be subtle underlying things, or it could be, the main point. But that's my question, and this is an 8.5-minute video. It'll probably be 9, so I'll end it here. I'm gonna go eat rice. Bye!